following using decimals. So you should use decimals in this. So first one, 3 kg, 9 grams. So how you are writing this in decimals? We know that 1 kg is equals to how many grams? 1000 grams.
1000 grams.
3 kg
3 kg is
is
equal to
3.09
kg.
9 kg.
3.009 kg. Children, if I tell you to write the total in terms of grams itself, how you will write?
3009 grams, ma'am.
3009 grams, ma'am.
3009 grams.
3009 grams, ma'am.
3009.
Okay. All of you completed this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
We'll move on to the next one.
Ma'am.
Next one, write down 3 kilometer, 2 meter. Write it in terms of decimal. 3 kilometer.
3.002 kilometer, ma'am. 3.002 kilometer, ma'am. 3.002 kilometer.
What is 1 kilometer is equal to?
1000 meter.
1000 meter.
1000 meter, ma'am. 1000 meters, ma'am.
What you get? 3 kilometer, 2 meter is equal to what you get in decimals?
3.002
kilometer, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
0 kilometer.
3.02 kilometer.
In terms of
3002 grams.
3000.
3002 grams, ma'am.
Meter, ma'am.
Meter, ma'am.
Okay, children. Next question. All of you completed this?
Yes, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Then 300 grams. 2 kg, 300 grams. What is 1 kg is equals to how many grams?
1000 grams.
1000 grams.
1000 grams, ma'am.
1000.
So how you write 2 kg, 300 grams as?
2.300, ma'am. 2.300 kg.
300.
Yes, ma'am.
2.300.
300.
300 kg.
2300 grams, ma'am. 2300 grams.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, 2.300 kgs, ma'am.
Kg it is. Yes, kg. Yes, kg.
kg.
Because when you write it in terms of grams, it is 2300 grams. Okay, children, completed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
100 ml. 4 liter 200 ml.
4.200 ml. 4.200 liter. 4.200 liter.
4.200. 4.200. Ma'am.
1000 ml. 1 liter is equals to 1000 ml. What about 4 liter ml?
4.200.
4.200
4,200.
liter, ma'am. 4,200 liter. 4,200 milliliter.
Yes, ma'am.
Last one. 2 hours plus 30 seconds. 2 hours 30 seconds. How you write this in terms of decimals?
2.0.
2.0.
Ma'am, 2.30 seconds, ma'am.
2.30.
Ma'am, 2.30, ma'am.
Listen carefully, children. Here we have 1 hour.
1 hour is equals to 60 seconds.
1 hour. You write it next is minutes. Then you write seconds. Right? You write like this: 1 hour, minute, and seconds. And when you are writing this, here it is given seconds. How many seconds it is given? 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
30 seconds means in 1 minute, how many seconds you will be having?
60 seconds, ma'am.
60
seconds.
seconds.
30 seconds means how many minutes? 30 seconds means
Half minute.
Half minute, ma'am. Half minute, ma'am.
it is nothing but 0.5 minutes. So when you are writing 2 hours 30 seconds, you should write it as 2 hours. For minutes, when you are writing, it is 0.05 minutes. Okay? 2.00 hours. Okay, children?
Okay,
And when you are writing this in terms of minutes,
Okay.
1 hour is equals to how many minutes? 60
60
minutes.
minutes, ma'am.
60 minutes, ma'am.
2 hours.
0.5 minutes. So totally 0.5
minutes, ma'am.
120.5 minutes. Clear, children?
Ma'am, this also we should write, ma'am.
What I told you in beginning of the class, what I told you? Whatever we are doing in class, everything you should write. And why I'm writing?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you completed this. How to write that in terms of decimals?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this is about decimals. So first we should do fractions and then go for decimals. But first I did decimals and then we are moving now to fractions. So all of you are familiar with the fractions that you have learned in your previous classes. So fractions, how you define fractions? What is a fraction? How you define fraction? Suppose if I draw
The
a
whole
circle,
part.
if I draw a circle, so how you define this? So in this circle represents it is a whole. Circle represents a whole. If I draw one more circle and make parts in this, just I'll divide the circle into 4 parts. This is one part.
Ma'am, fraction is a part of a whole.
So how you define fraction? Now, define fraction, it is a
1/4, ma'am.
part of whole. Fraction is a part of a whole. Okay, children? Very good. So fraction is a part of a whole. Now in this, what part of that circle is shaded yellow?
1 by 4, ma'am. 1 by 4, ma'am.
2 by
Is it
4,
1 by
ma'am.
4?
1 by 4, ma'am.
So
2 by 4,
how many
2 by 4,
in this?
ma'am.
2 by 4, ma'am.
2 by
1 by 4, ma'am. 1 by 4.
2 by
2
4.
by 4, ma'am.
First
2 by
listen
4,
children. Mute all of you. Mute. All of you mute your audio. So in this, how many parts are there? That always you should write it in denominator. And what is asked? The fraction of yellow shaded. So here, if you can observe, two parts are shaded. So it is 2 by 4. And you can simplify this. What you get? Half of the circle is shaded yellow. This is how you should write the shaded region and unshaded region. Okay, and this I think you are familiar with this shaded part and unshaded part, writing this, and you have done in your lower classes. So we'll just move on to the next topic in this fractions, that is the different types of fractions. What are the different types of fractions? So in this first, what you have learned first is proper fraction. Proper fraction. So what is a proper fraction?
Improper fraction, ma'am. Improper fraction.
What is a proper fraction? A fraction in which numerator is always less than denominator. Numerator is less than denominator. Less than denominator. So such kind of fractions we call them as proper fraction. A fraction in which numerator is less than denominator is called proper fraction, and its value will be always less than 1. So whose value for proper fraction value is always less than 1. You should remember this, children. It is always less than 1, because numerator is less than denominator means when you are dividing you will get the value in terms of decimals. So you should remember, for a proper fraction its value will be, when you are doing division, you will get the value always less than 1. So that is for proper fraction. For example, you can write like 3 by 72. It is proper fraction. 1 by 4, or we can write it as 7 by 9.
5 by 8.
1 by 9. You can write your own examples, children, for this. Okay, so this is about proper fraction. The next one we have improper fraction. Improper fraction is just like opposite of proper fraction. Can you define what is improper fraction? It is numerator is more than
Ma'am, where denominator is more than numerator.
less than numerator.
numerator is always greater
Numerator is greater than.
Greater than the
always
numerator.
Numerator is
always
greater
greater
than
than
denominator.
denominator. So that we call it as improper fraction. Suppose, for example, write 29 by 4, or you can write 43 by 3. You can write your own example, children, here. 79 by 5, or you can write it 17 by 7, or you can write like 61 by 60, where numerator will be always greater than denominator. And if you get numerator always greater than denominator, what is the value of the fraction? Whether it is greater than 1 or less than 1.
Greater than 1, ma'am. Greater than 1,
Yes,
ma'am. Greater than 1, ma'am.
value is always greater than 1. You should remember its value is always greater than 1. Greater than 1. Okay, so this is about improper fraction. You should write your own examples for this improper fraction. Some examples I have listed here and other examples you can write on your own. Okay, children? Then next one we have mixed fraction. So how you define mixed fraction? It is a whole
It has
number
whole,
along
ma'am.
proper fraction. Whole number,
Whole, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
whole number
It's proper fraction, ma'am.
along,
Proper fraction,
along
ma'am.
with the proper fraction.
Proper fraction.
Proper fraction we call it as mixed fraction. Whole number along with the proper fraction is called mixed fraction. Is called mixed fraction. Okay, children? So in this, how you write this mixed fraction? Like 4 3 by 7, 5 1 by 20, or you can write 1 1 by 2, or you can write 5 1 by 7, or you can write 4 3 by 21. So these are some of the examples I have written there. 7 3 by 8. And if you observe, can you tell me whether these fractions are greater than 1 or less than 1? Mixed fraction.
Less than 1, ma'am.
Less than 1, ma'am. Less than 1, ma'am.
Greater than 1.
Here, can you observe? It's 1.5. 1.5 means it is greater than 1. Value is always greater than 1. It's always greater than 1. Because mixed fraction, if you convert it, you will get again improper fraction itself. So its value is always greater than 1. Okay, children, is it for all?
Okay, ma'am.
5 fractions. Is it clear for all?
Yes,
What are the different
Yes, ma'am.
fractions?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am,
Yes,
with whole numbers, ma'am, improper fraction cannot come in mixed fraction, ma'am.
when you convert that improper mixed fraction, you will get improper fraction itself. If you are converting mixed fraction, you will get improper fraction itself. It will see in the. Okay, is it clear for all now?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Then we'll now just convert mixed fraction into improper fraction and
Yes, sir.
improper fraction to mixed fraction. How to convert that we'll see. So in this, what we have. Improper fractions and improper fraction into mixed fractions. Okay. Now this one we have. You have to convert this 61 by 6 in terms of mixed fraction. How you do those? You should do
Divide,
division.
ma'am.
We have 6. So 6 plus 6 you get. So it is 0. Next you take 1. You put 0 because it is not divided. So what is you are left out with? You will put one arrow mark like this. So how you are writing this? 10 1 by 6. 10 1 by 6. This is the way how you convert this. Okay. Next second one we'll see 8 57 divided by 8. So 8 sevens are 56. So what you are left with? Remainder is 1. So you should put one arrow mark like this. And where the arrow mark
1 by
that you should write the whole number part. The remaining number 1
7.
7 1 by 8, ma'am. 7 1 by
8, ma'am. 8, ma'am.
8. Next 2 divides 11. So how you write 2 5s are 10. What is the remainder you are getting? 1.
1.
So you should put
5 1 by 2, ma'am. 5 1 by 2, ma'am.
5 1 by 2, ma'am. 5 1 by 2, ma'am.
1 by 2, ma'am.
Next, 22 by 7. So you should put 7, 22 and 7 threes are 21. What is the remainder you are getting?
1, ma'am.
1.
3 1
3
by
1 by
7.
7, ma'am.
3 1 by
3
7.
1 by
3
7.
1 by 7, ma'am.
3 1 by 7.
3 1 by 7.
Okay. Next, 71. So you can directly write 7 tens are 70. What is the remainder?
1, ma'am.
1, ma'am.
1, ma'am. 1, ma'am.
10 1
10
by
1
7.
by 7.
10 1 by
10 1
7,
by 7,
10
ma'am.
1 by
10 1 by 7.
1 by 7, ma'am.
1, ma'am. 10 1 by 7, ma'am.
10 1 by
All of
7,
you,
ma'am.
all of you understood how to convert improper fraction to mixed fraction?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Then
Yes.
remaining problem, remaining 10 problems. You should do it. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
children? Okay. So if you get any question,
Okay,
then
ma'am.
ask me. This remaining
Okay,
10
ma'am.
problems, you should do it in your maths notes. Okay? Then we'll discuss how to convert mixed fractions into improper fractions. So when you are converting this mixed
You should multiply and
whole number and denominator, that you should multiply, and the product you should add to the numerator. So that is, here you should multiply. 5 twos are 10. 10 plus 4, 14. 14.
14 ma'am.
by 5, ma'am.
14 by 5 ma'am.
14 by 5. In the same way, here you do multiplication and here you add. Denominator you should
55 by 9 ma'am. 55 by 9 ma'am.
so 9
55 by 9, ma'am.
5 by 9.
55 by 9 ma'am.
Next 73 by 9, ma'am.
plus 1 divided by 9. So what you do? 72. 8 nines are 72
by 9
plus
ma'am.
73 by 9,
73 by 9, ma'am.
9, ma'am.
what you get? 72
38 by
38
5,
by
ma'am.
5, ma'am.
38 by 5 ma'am. 48 by 5 ma'am.
38 by 5, ma'am.
58 by 9, ma'am.
4 by 9. So what you get? 54
58
plus
by
4.
9, ma'am.
58 by
9.
all of you understand?
9, ma'am.
Mixed fraction
ma'am. Yes ma'am.
remaining 10 problems. Remaining 10 problems.
Okay ma'am. Okay ma'am.
Here, this will be uploaded in your study material section, children. Okay? Do you have any, doubts in this converting mixed fraction
No ma'am.
to improper?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
All of you
No,
understood?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now we'll move on to the next topic.
Yes, ma'am.
Will I move on to the next topic? Do you have any?
Unit fraction is also there.
Is it clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This is the most important thing you should learn.
Okay, ma'am.
Fractions. Reducing fractions. And it is the most important one. And if you know tables, then only you will be able to do it. If you don't know tables, you will not be able to solve these problems. So only I tell you to write tables daily. Okay? So it is the most, that is reducing fractions. Reducing fractions means here whatever the table you take to cancel numerator, the same table you should use in cancelling denominator also. Suppose first one you can see here, 18 by 24 it is there. So both 18 and 24 both are divided with the same table. So how you can divide? This is 6 into 3 or 6 into 4. You can observe 6 gets cancelled and you are left with 3 by 4. Understood?
Yes,
In
ma'am.
this way, you should do.
Yes, ma'am.
4 can be written as 4 into 1, 20. That's 4 into 5.
4 ones are 4 fives are, ma'am.
What you are left with?
1 by 5.
1 by
1
5, ma'am.
by 5, ma'am. 1 by 5,
By
ma'am.
1 by 5, ma'am.
1 by 5, ma'am.
3
3
by 3.
2 by 3, ma'am.
2
2
by
by
3,
3,
ma'am.
ma'am. 2 by 3, ma'am. 2 by 3, ma'am.
Tell me what you write for 12 by 8.
6 twos are 3, ma'am. 3, ma'am. 2, ma'am.
6 to the
Next one is 2 by 3, ma'am. 2 by 3, ma'am. 2 by 3, ma'am. 1 by 3, ma'am. 1 by 1, ma'am. 1 by 1, ma'am. 1 by 1, ma'am.
Aisha Umera, Umashri, mute your audio, all of you. Why you are screaming like that? You are not in a market to scream like that. Unnecessarily, if all of you scream like that, nobody will understand what you are saying. Have some manners in class. You are attending online class. So next, 7 by 7. How you write these factors? 7 ones are 7 ones are. So it is 1 by 1 is
1 by
1.
1 by 1.
Next, 16 by 12. How you write the 16 by 12? That you can write it as 4 fours are 16 or 4 threes are 12. Now if you cancel 4 will get cancelled, so you are left with 4 by
4 by 3.
3. Next, 25 by 10. How you can write 25 by 10? 25 can be written as 5 fives are 25.
5 by 2, ma'am.
5 to the
5 to the 10, ma'am.
5 by
5 by 2, ma'am.
5 by 2, ma'am.
So we are left with 5 by 2. Next, 9 by 18. How you can write? 9 ones are
1 by 2, ma'am.
9 ma'am. 1, 9 to
1 by 2, ma'am.
next 5 by
Ma'am, 5
25.
ones are 5, 5, 5.
1 by 5, ma'am.
1 by 5.
1 by 5.
1 by 5. 1 by 5. 1 by 5, ma'am.
5 by
So
1.
it is 5. 1.
5 by 1, ma'am.
All of you understood reducing fractions, and for each problem do in the same manner how I have shown you. Don't get confused because the same tables you are using in both numerator and denominator, once you write along with its fractions, then it will be easy for you. So remaining problems you should do it in your notes. This will be uploaded in your study material section. You should solve them in your maths notes. Is it clear? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, children. So the more problems you solve, you will be getting perfect in that. So whatever the problems I am giving you, all that problems you should solve it them in your maths notes. ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನ್ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅದೆಲ್ಲಾನು ನಿಮ್ ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ರೀಸನ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಹೇಳಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಎನ್ರೋಲ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀರಿ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದೆಲ್ಲಾ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಗೋ ಥ್ರೂ ದಟ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್ ಡೇ ಬೈ ಡೇ. ನಿಮ್ ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಮುಂದೆ ಯಾವ ಡೇಟ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ, ಏನೇನ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅದಿಷ್ಟು ನಿಮ್ ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀರಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಕಮ್ ಫಾರ್ submitting your post test papers, you should bring your maths notes and DD Chandana Samveda class notes and homework sheets, whatever is uploaded, and bridge course post test. And after your post test, I'm going to start your 7th standard syllabus. So don't keep anything pending. Now if you keep anything pending, again you will be keeping that as it is throughout the year. You will not be able to complete that. So see that, do your work daily, and from Monday onwards you will be having post test. Before that itself, try to complete, and whatever is uploaded in study material section, everything you should complete it in your maths notes. Is it clear, children?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So
Ma'am,
now,
Monday is test, ma'am.
yes, Monday you will be having test. From Monday onwards you will be
Which,
having test.
which subject, ma'am?
One
All
day,
subjects.
how many subjects, ma'am? One day, how many
Monday
subjects?
which one? Based on that itself you will be having. Okay?
Ma'am, FA1, ma'am.
One day,
Not
two
FA,
subjects,
but
ma'am.
post test. Bridge
One day, two
post
subjects,
test.
ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I have doubts, ma'am.
What's your doubt?
Ma'am, in proper fraction, you said value is always less than 1, no, ma'am. Means what,
Yes.
ma'am?
When you divide that fraction, convert that in terms of decimals, you will get always value less than 1 itself. You will never get the value more than 1.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So we'll solve some problems based on addition and subtraction of fractions. Okay, children? Addition of fractions. We have discussed today. So all that you should practice well.
Ma'am, unit fractions is also there, ma'am.
Okay. So now this find each sum. This is based on the addition of fractions.
14 by 16, ma'am.
So what you get?
14 by 16, ma'am.
14 by 16. 6, ma'am. 14 by 16. 14 by 6, ma'am.
14 by 6, ma'am.
14 by 6, ma'am.
14 by 6, ma'am.
14 by 12, ma'am.
14 by 12, ma'am.
7 by 6, ma'am.
14 by 12, ma'am.
14 by 6, ma'am. 14 by 16, ma'am.
14 by 12, ma'am.
14 by 6, ma'am.
So it is by 6. Not add denominator. Must be mute your audio. All of you mute your audios. Whenever you get any fractions, Umesh, mute your audio. Whenever you get any fractions, you should first observe whether they are like fractions or unlike fractions. And if they are like fractions, then only you should go for addition. And if they are unlike fractions, you cannot add them directly. You should take LCM and then add. So here, if you observe 1 by 7 plus 8 by 7, both are having same denominator 7. So they are like fractions. So for like fractions, you should write common denominator 7 and add the numerator 1 plus 8. So what you get the answer? 1 plus 8, you get it as
9
9
by 7.
by. So 9 by 7 is the answer. At the time, don't unmute yourself. All of you, if you unmute yourself and start speaking, then it is just waste of doing class for you. Now, 1 by 2 plus 3 by 2, both are having common denominators 2 itself. So you can write common denominator 2, and in numerator what we should write?
4 by
Plus
4 by
1 plus 3. Then next step what you should do? 1 plus 3 is nothing but 4 by 2. Now can you cancel
4
this
by
4
2.
and 2 ones are 2 twos are. So what is the answer you get? 2. So in this way you have to do, children. Next, 2 by 5 plus 6 by 5. So what is the common denominator here we have?
5, ma'am.
8 by
Ma'am,
5
I
is
want
the
to
answer, ma'am. 8 by 5,
5,
ma'am.
ma'am.
8 by 5, ma'am.
Ma'am,
8 by 5, ma'am.
8 by 5,
8 by
ma'am.
5.
8 by
8 by 5,
5.
ma'am.
Next, 1 plus 3 by 8 is there. So if you get like this, what you should do? First multiply this both the number by 8. Divide by 8 and multiply by 8. See, if nothing is there means you can write this as 1 by 1. Number 1 can be written as 1 by 1. Now what is the number we need in the denominator? You need 8 in the denominator. So multiply this both numerator and denominator with number 8. Now when you are multiplying the number both the numerator and denominator with 8, you get 8 by 8 plus 3 by 8. Now if you observe, if you cancel 8 by 8, what you get if you cancel 8 by 8 here? 8 ones are 8 ones are. So again you are going
1
back
by
to
1.
get. So you can just write it in terms of 8 by 8. And when you are writing this in terms of 8 by 8, what is the common denominator we have? 8. And in numerator you can write 8 plus 3. So when you add both 8 plus 3, what you get?
11 by 8.
Right? So your answer is 11 by 8. So in
11
the
by
same
8.
way you should the remaining 5 problems, children. Okay? So this one,
Ma'am, I want to tell.
what Umashri, what you want to tell?
Ma'am, first one's answer is B, ma'am. 7 by 3 will also come, ma'am, answer.
Okay.
Yes.
We will check this.
Yes,
So it is
reduce 14 by 6, ma'am. That's one.
yes. So when you are reducing that, very good. So 2 sevens are 14, 2 threes are 6. So you get it as 7 by 3. Okay.
Ma'am, please
So-
do unlike fraction sum, ma'am.
Unlike fraction sums that you are having for 7th standard, not for 6th standard, we are revising only whatever you have studied in your 6th standard, not the syllabus of your 7th standard. Okay? Lakshmi, my voice is not resounding. If all of you unmute and talk, then it looks like resounding itself. Okay, so this is all about the addition of fractions. In the same way, you should do subtraction also. So this also I'll be uploading in study material section. You should solve problems based on this. Okay, children, is it clear for all?
Ma'am,
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am, we can the notes also we can write in old notes, ma'am.
Notes, why you will write in old notes? You should keep a new notes for 7th standard. In old notes, I told you can whatever you are watching DD Chandana Samveda classes, that you should write it in your old notes, not in your new notes.
Ma'am, it
And
is
homework-
syllabus of 6th, ma'am.
Yes. ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ನಿಮ್ ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು. ಅಂಡ್ ಡಿ ಚಂದನ ಸಂವೇದ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ನ ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ ಹಳೆ ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀಬಹುದು. Is it clear?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
If you have any doubts, you can ask.
Ma'am,
Can't understand third problem now.
ma'am, unit fractions are there, ma'am.
What someone asked some.
Ma'am, unit fractions are there, ma'am.
If you have any doubt, you can ask me now fast.
Ma'am, unit
Ma'am,
fractions are there, ma'am.
fraction in that 1 by 1 plus 3 by 8. How, ma'am?
What?
Ma'am, in adding fractions, ma'am. In that 1 plus 3 by 8. That question, ma'am.
So what I explained you, when 1 is given, you can write it as 1 by 1. Now here in first denominator we have 1 and in the next denominator 8. Normally when you are doing there you will be taking LCM. So if you take LCM of 1 and 8 you will be getting 8 itself. So you should multiply this both numerator and denominator with 8. So what you get? 8 by 8 plus 3 by 8. So 8 by 8, if you reduce again, you will get back 1 by 1 itself. So now you got common denominator 8 and you should add the numerators 8 plus 3. So what you get? 8 plus 3 is 11 by 8. Is it clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
See, if you are not studying any
Yes, ma'am.
class is available, you can go through the class recording once again. Okay, and for your bridge course post test you should practice all the problems whatever we have discussed in daily class. Main thing you should know about the properties of numbers, whatever the properties we have discussed, like commutative property, associative property, distributive property, additive identity, additive inverse, multiplicative identity, multiplicative inverse, all those properties you should revise. And what are the different types of angles, how you represent parallel lines and intersecting lines. Intersecting lines, the way you can observe intersecting lines, like in case of scissors or in the branches of a tree. There and all you can just imagine what are the intersecting lines it represents and how you are doing
Additive
the
identity,
LCM.
ma'am.
That all you should remember. And also you should remember about the different types of triangles. Like if all the sides are equal, we call them as equilateral triangle. If any two sides are equal, we call it as isosceles triangle. And if all sides are different, we call it as scalene triangle. So that you got one question and similar type questions you will be getting. And you should practice how to draw bar graphs. Bar graphs, drawing bar graphs you should practice. So what you are going to take in bar graphs, what you are going to take along x-axis, y-axis, like this you will be taking. And some of you in your pre-test you have drawn just one line, you have put. Bar graph means you should completely, you should make it a rectangle. Here along x-axis you will be taking like days, and here you will be taking like number of books sold, how many books sold, all that you will be taking. And like here 100, 200, 300, so that numbers you will be going on writing. So when you are drawing the bar graph, you should see that you should draw equal width. Width of this first rectangle should be equal to this width of the second rectangle. And again, third rectangle, when you are drawing, it should be of same length. Width should be same. And here the gap, how much you are drawing gap in between. the same gap you should leave here also. The same gap should be left here. Okay, that is how you should draw bar graphs. And some of you are observed in your graphs that some of you have drawn. If I gave you question to draw bar graphs, means you have drawn like this. This is not the bar graph. This we call it as histogram. Don't draw however you want. It is not the bar graph. It is wrong. If you draw for a bar graph, if you draw like this, it is wrong. And some students, they have just done this as days and this as the number of books sold that they have taken correctly. And instead of drawing bar graphs, so like 100, 200, 300. So instead of drawing graphs, they have just marked like this, like this, like this. They have just put like this. It is wrong. This we don't call it as a bar graph. It is frequency polygon. So in maths, whatever you do it correctly. If you do the other things, then it gives different meaning. Okay. So whenever you are told to draw anything, you should do it correctly. And practice drawing bar graphs also for your post test. And I hope all of you are familiar with area of rectangle, square, circle. So I didn't explain you all these things, and also about the perimeters. So whatever the perimeter you get for square of a perimeter of a square, perimeter of a rectangle, these formulas you should remember. And for a circle, you call it as circumference, or we can also call it as perimeter of circle. That is nothing but circumference of circle. So all these things you should remember, and these things based on that only you will be having post test. Is it clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Onwards you will be having test, and afterwards I'm going to start your 7th standard syllabus. So see that all of you practice well for your test.
Ma'am,
And when you are, yes,
ma'am,